Hello, Cubs fans, and welcome to a brand new edition of Cubs on Tap. Wow, it has been a hot freaking minute since I think any of us have been on a microphone together, let alone all four of us. But I am Ron Luce. I am joined by the full barn of the boys tonight. We got the Juice Man himself. We got the Cheese Man, Mr. Ricotta, up in the top corner, and we got the legend, the hero saving, fire outputting man himself, Mr. Tyler Edmonds. Boys, how are we doing? It's CubsCon week. There's been a lot of shit going on in the world of Cubs baseball. And we all may or may not be at CubsCon this weekend. It's a pretty exciting fucking time. But gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Dude, living the dream. Let me just say, find yourself a girl that when you text her, you're about to go live, and you really want a hot chocolate, she comes in here and brings you a hot chocolate. Like, that's love right
That's
there.
legendary.
That's straight. Like, that's you wife her up right there. But no, dude, guys, I am so excited to do this weekend. Excited to talk some Cubs stuff today. We're kind of calling this like the CubsCon halfway through the off-season episode here, so I'm sure this will be like a pretty long one. We'll have a lot of talk, and please, jump in the comments if you're listening to this and shoot us some questions. Shoot us your comments. We'd love to hear them. And let's transfer over to our boy Tyler with the I love your CubsCon week, baby.
Yeah, guys, it's good to hear from you. It's good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you guys since like last year. It's been a whole year almost. Damn. But no, man, I'm excited too. We've been talking about it forever. We've been talking about it among, messaging each other and everything like that. It's going to be a great week. I can't wait. A lot of stuff going on. I'm excited.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I don't know. I guess I didn't know Tyler was done. Listen, I'm doing really good. Work's been good. Life's good. It's a new year. We're going to CubsCon this week. If I can make it there, maybe we are going. We're not sure if we're going. Like we said, maybe not. I think we are. But if I can make it there, because my car's leaking gas right now, we are going to have a hell of a weekend this week.
Joey, please. If your car breaks down on the way, pull off, and what you need to do is stream your way to CubsCon, plane, trains, and automobile style. Like, legit, that needs to be your content. Just hitchhiking with people, finding random bikes on the ground, like scooters. I don't know, find some kid rollerblades, and then, every time, I'm in... I'm in Algonquin.
Joey, set your car on fire.
That's what needs to happen. Yes.
Do it.
Dude, I will absolutely have the most fun with this possible if that happens, even though I will be hating every second of it. But I will also enjoy it, because imagine the epic videos I might get from Cubs fans that will hopefully take me straight to CubsCon. And maybe I might get there by Sunday. But this would be, dude. Please don't break down. Please don't break down. I don't really want to do that.
No, I don't want you to.
The second you got there, standing ovation. Everybody just stop what you're doing. Joey's here. Joey.
I come in with the camera.
Get up on the stage, like David Ross. Just get up on the stage, Joey. Come on.
I think it'd be hilarious if they announced somebody else and Joey just cut him off at the front stage.
Ian happens off the compound.
Yeah,
I'm here, guys. Cubs on Tap's in the building.
Oh, my God.
Man,
that would be absolutely legendary. But guys, before we're gonna have to bottle up this CubsCon energy just a little more, because we wanted to explode here on the show. We got some news to talk. Joey, Tyler, you guys had already recapped Drew Smyly. This is his third contract now with the Cubs, as I pointed out to the guys before we started today. And then Tucker Barnhart both signed. They signed the day that you guys did the last show on that Friday right before Christmas. And then since then, which none of us have talked about yet, Hosmer is now officially a Cub. They got him for a bag of balls and a Snickers bar. Thanks, Padres, for paying his entire salary for the foreseeable future. So they get him. They make some other moves, some smaller moves. Guys, what say you? What are your thoughts on some of these moves? Juice, love to hear your thoughts here about, quickly, about Smiley and Barnhart. I know for me, I just pitching depth and catching depth. Cool. Like that's good things. That's my 2 cents on it. But what do you think about those two moves? And then the floor is open to everybody. Let's chat about Hosmer.
Yeah, I mean those two. You can't be sad when you get a guy like Tucker Barnhart behind the plate, plays good defense. I mean, that's kind of been the theme for this whole thing, right? This whole offseason has been run prevention. It's going to be really interesting to watch the Cubs play defense this year. I did get in my mentions that the Cubs will have to score runs, so that is confirmed. We're working to confirm that they'll have to score runs to win. Will they have to score more than one because their defense and pitching is that good? Who knows? That's still left to be seen, but no, I got to be excited about that. It's a short-term deal. What do I always say, Ronald? Short-term deals. There's no such thing as a bad.
Yeah,
one.
there's no such thing as a bad short-term deal.
Yeah, and that kind of Smiley just kind of made sense, right? You could never have enough pitching depth. He's been a guy who is loved in that locker room. He's a guy that is left-handed. He kind of fits like all those kind of flex things too. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, did we not see him at least a little bit? In like that 3 and 4 inning role when they did have a lot of these guys more or less like on the roster, they were kind of shuffling through. Excuse me. So I don't know. I almost feel like this is it's just a good depth move, and he's able to be moved around. He's a little bit more versatile than let's say like a guy who's on your roster like a Kyle Hendricks, who's probably like rotation or nothing guy. You can kind of move Smiley around at least a little bit more than you can the typical pitcher. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll probably end up in the rotation, and obviously, hopefully, he puts together the same kind of performances he has over the last couple of years. But no, you can't be sad bringing back like two guys like that. A guy who plays good defense, and obviously a guy who is well loved in the locker room and has definitely outperformed his contracts that he's signed here, minus when he was rehabbing the first time, as Ron just said. His fun fact, which I'll probably leave for him, but. Yeah, no, I think that in terms of those two, you can't be upset about it. It's short. It's not going to bog them down. It doesn't bog down the position either. And I feel like this kind of two deals that if somebody within the minor league system really wows them, it's not like they're roadblocked by somebody who's getting paid an astronomical amount of money. And that's just what these two signings were.
100%. And gentlemen, now again, the floor here. I mean, the Hosmer deal, low risk, somewhat high reward. I don't want to say high reward with a guy like Hosmer at this point in his career, what we've seen. But again, compared to what was there last season, and as Scott mentions here in the Crawford, or Scott Crawford in the comments here, best wishes to PJ Higgins and Alfonso Rivas, both granted their releases by the organization. He's probably a better option than anything they had there last season. You have Mervis, there's the idea that Mervis is going to stick around, but again, no such thing as a bad 1-year deal, right? And you got that with Hosmer. Worst case scenario, he's depth. He's going to, again, be a warmer body at first base than pretty much anybody that played the position last season, and even if he gives you 730 OPS production like he did for the first half in San Diego last season, also still better than what the Cubs had at first base last year. So, you know what I mean? Even if it's just a marginal improvement, it's a marginal improvement as a safety blanket for if Mervis isn't fully ready right away. Ideally, by hopefully meaningful games in late July and August and into September, we're going to see probably more Matt Mervis, less Hosmer, unless it's we're going to let Mervis DH today and Hosmer has to play there because we need a warm body that can catch the ball over at first base. But guys, your thoughts as well on the matter, because again, it's a move that garnered a lot of debate for, I think, a lot of people just were overreacting, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. I don't hate the move at all. Like I talked about it a few weeks ago. I think I tweeted it about it. It shows where you are in the offseason when Cubs fans were debating who we should get between Trey Mancini and Eric Hosmer.
Also, quickly on Mancini, I'm happy that Mancini hasn't signed with the Cubs.
I am too. I agree.
Thanks to you three, because I don't need to be seen in a Mancini. But anyway, continue.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I forgot all about that completely.
Because to be honest, I swear I'm not just saying this because we got Hosmer. If I had to pick between the two, I would have picked Hosmer. I'm like you. I didn't understand the outrage among a lot of fans out there trying to say, well, we just got another ground ball guy, blah, blah, blah. For $700,000 for pocket change, Jed Hoyer probably had it like in his cup holder in his car. He got a 4-time Gold Glove winner, a former World Series champion. Like when it first came out that we signed him, there was talks about, I don't know if he's a good, some people were saying on Twitter, like, I don't know if he's a good clubhouse guy or not, but like you saw all over the internet, like former players putting that shit to bed and saying, no, that's not true at all. This guy is a huge clubhouse guy, veteran presence, all that stuff. And our boy Jake from the Dingers podcast, after he sent out that video about Hosmer, was getting kind of crap for it and from Padres fans. And it's like, dude, look, if I'm a Padres fan, I would be mad too if I was paying Eric Hosmer $33 million to play against you. I'd be pissed off too. I get it. He signed that big deal in San Diego. You thought he was going to be something that he didn't turn out to be. Maybe not. I think the most home runs he's had in a season was 25. So, he's not a big home run guy, but he's a veteran guy. Hopefully he's a guy that can help Matt Mervis transition into the major leagues. And he's going to make guys like Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner, a young Christopher Morel, who's going to be playing third base a lot this year. He's probably going to make him look even better because he's going to save them a lot of times. Maybe not a lot of times, but he's going to save them every now and then from maybe a potential error or whatever. So at the end of the day, $700,000, like Juice said, this small deal, it's low risk. Shoot, I was going to say something else. Mine's gone blank.
Well, when you think about it,
I'm going to think of it.
That's okay. We'll come back to it.
I just blank. There was something else I wanted to say.
We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. You just interrupt when you.
No. I got it.
There it is.
So at the end of the day, the only reason you would need to be upset about this move is if, let's say in June he's batting 170 or 160 and he's taking appearances away from Matt Mervis or somebody else that may be hitting the ball better. That's really the only time that I would be a little upset. Like, okay, let's bench this guy. Let's say by June he has 3 home runs, 500 to 600 OPS, whatever. Yeah, okay, then you could DFA him, whatever. Whoop-de-doo, it costs you $700,000.
Yeah, 100%. Joey, Juice, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing as what you guys have been saying. I mean, honestly, I think there was a huge overreaction from this move. Whenever you're paying a guy basically the bare minimum or whatever it is, I mean, what do you really have to lose? You can DFA him by June. You can DFA him by the end of April. If it's really that bad, you can absolutely just pull the cord on him. It's not that big of a deal. I think my biggest thing was I didn't want another guy that I feel like is going to hit the ball on the ground a ton, whereas that's what Hosmer does. He hits the ball on the ground a ton. It's kind of going to be a little bit Jason Hayward feeling in that sense, but at the same time, and he doesn't have the huge power that he used to have. Not that he had huge power, but he doesn't really have much power right now. But he doesn't strike out much either. He still has had an OBP of 330 to 337 the last 3 years. He's still, I don't think he's hit lower than looking at it now, 265 the last 4 years. He still can hit the baseball, and he's going to provide some leadership. Marcus Stroman's talked about his leadership and stuff, as we, So I like that perspective. You're trying to guide these young players to build them up and produce winners. Really, it's about the whole mentality. It's the clubhouse feeling. It's adding that solid presence. Whereas that's something we liked about Hayward, right? We really like that aspect. And now that you're losing that, at least you're going to get a guy that is still playing quality baseball, even if he's underperforming to huge contract levels. Yes, he's not going to provide you the upside that he once did, especially with the Royals, but he can still be a quality baseball player. And that's valuable to a team that doesn't have too many leaders, doesn't have too many left-handed bats. You have Tucker Barnhart, a lefty. You have Ian Happ, a switchy, but that's basically him and Cody Bellinger are your 2 big lefty bats. where, yes, Matt Mervis, we want him to be that guy, and I don't want him to take at bats from Matt Mervis by any means, but like, and that's where I kind of agree with Tyler. I hope this doesn't like mean the Cubs are going to be absolutely bogged down with Hosmer. They're going to want to stick with him, like Ross will want to stick with him throughout the year. If Mervis is kind of going off and showing that he can be the guy, that's why I kind of wanted a right-handed hitting first baseman platoon option with like a Mancini or somebody, but I don't hate it. Like, there's nothing to hate with this move. I don't, it's all right. It's fine.
Yeah, and somebody's got to replace Jason Hayward as the ground ball guy anyway. Juice, what say you, my friend?
No, I think both of Tyler and Joey hit on great points there. Just to kind of round it out, I think that history in a lot of ways for this franchise repeats itself, right? Because if you remember correctly, back in 2012, the Cubs also had an older, not out of his prime, but Carlos Pena, who was also a Gold Glover, who,
True.
with Anthony Rizzo in the system, probably taught Anthony Rizzo a little bit defensively. And if there's anything that Matt Mervis can work on, it's defense. So as you sit here and look at like what's going on for the next year, this team is obviously put together to hopefully maximize the young pitching that they've kind of acquired, and they've kind of are going to try to maximize for next year. So they've put a lot of guys in this lineup who are good defensively. They may not hit as much, but this is almost like the year that either you roll the dice and see what you can get out of your pitching staff, and hopefully that's enough to carry you to a wild card. But this is as much a development year as it is just like last year, if not more. So guys like Mervis and guys like maybe Brendan Davis, who wins, some time at the big league level. Those are guys, and obviously Christopher Morel, like we've talked about all last year, be another development year for him as well. But having guys like that in your locker room, like Eric Hosmer, who can teach you how to not beat yourself every day, I think is more valuable than you'll probably get out of his bat. I mean, let's be honest here, guys. We're probably looking at this too deep, and he'll probably, in a perfect world, what happens is for 2 months of the season, he starts, Mervis outperforms himself at AAA, if not at the big league level with the DH, and he can improve defensively throughout the year to where he can take over that position. And then they don't have to worry about it for a very long time. So just to kind of round out what that season could be like, you're paying for less than nothing for maybe a guy who's going to platoon DH and spot fill at first base at the second half of the year. So really you're talking about 2 months of a guy that is going to be on this roster and a mainstay in it, probably in the lineup until Matt Mervis can fully grasp that position and move on with it. That's the hope, I think. And if that doesn't happen, there's worse guys to be rolling out that are in the free agency right now than a guy that you're going to pay less than $1 million for. So I think to just kind of get Mervis that next kind of step, that stepping stone, I think Eric Hosmer is one of the perfect people to do that, considering that he's obviously hit at every level that he's been at in the minor leagues. But there's been some questions about him defensively and who to learn better from than a 4-time Gold Glover. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You can tell that when the Cubs make moves, they think about the type of people they're bringing into the organization with a lot of guys. If you look at Cubs of old, right, with the Milton Bradleys of the world to Cubs of new, you can see that culture is a big deal to this front office. And I think as Stroman and many others have noted, Hosmer, big clubhouse guy, especially was a Team USA representative last time that the U.S. took gold in that gem that Stro threw in the World Baseball Classic. So certainly something to keep an eye on and talk about there. But guys, 20 minutes of Cubs baseball, at least for this week, is probably enough. I want to talk about one more quick thing. And this is a little more baseball-centric than just Cubs-centric. Before we talk CubsCon and what our excitements are and things that are going to be happening, and we'll just let our minds wander. Thoughts on Carlos Correa finally signing with his third team of the offseason? Does this one stick? According to reports, the quick answer is yes. But thoughts on the Correa situation? This felt like the biggest saga in baseball free agency in quite some time now.
What a saga, man. What a saga. I don't know. It's crazy to me. Like, I thought maybe the Cubs had a chance to kind of sneak in. Maybe they were that other second team that was kind of keeping it potentially close to the vest in case things fall through again with the Twins, because we knew how interested the Cubs were a little. Like, I don't know how interested we actually knew that they were, but we knew they met with him, right? We knew Jed Hoyer and them met in San Diego with Boris and Correa. Or near there. So I was hoping like maybe there's an outside chance, high AAV, short-term contract with the Cubs. But yeah, man, like how healthy is this guy for a long-term deal? This guy had what was the contract? 13 years on the table?
Something
Like the
that,
Giants, yeah. And then 11, I believe, with the Mets.
Mhm.
I mean, dude, like talk about the missed money that this guy right now. I mean, 6 years is still 6 years, 200 million, whatever it is. Like that's still a hell of a deal. But I mean, obviously they're seeing something with the medicals here that they do not like, in particular long term. So yeah, man, I guess I'm not too like. Doesn't that make you feel a little bit better just from a Cubs perspective of where the Cubs, who they got, and for what the term was that they got him at?
Yeah.
We know Dansby Swanson's healthy. We know he's durable. We know he plays great defense. And we know he hits for power. Those things we know. So is he going to be a huge on-base guy? Is he going to strike out a little bit? Sure. He's not going to be a huge on-base guy, and he's not going to – he will strike out a little bit. But it makes me feel pretty damn good about what the Cubs did this offseason from, like, their key target perspectives. Like, and I know we were talking about Correa and not really the Cubs, but just to kind of bounce it back Cubs-wise, like,
For sure.
I don't know, man. I like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it makes you feel good about it makes you feel even better about the Dansby Swanson contract. Looks even better now.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I was on the Carlos Correa train, but now seeing all that, I don't feel as bad that we don't have him. Minnesota had to know all this from last year.
Right.
They had to, because they perform these physicals. They perform more than likely the same type of physical as last year. So it was kind of like, Minnesota was like the boyfriend who, told the girl, hey, look, if you want to go out, test the waters, go on out, see if the grass is greener. She went out. Nobody wanted him. She came crawling back. Okay, you can come back. But I'm assuming the deal was a little bit, I'm not 100% sure what his deal was last year. What was it, like 3 years with an opt-out after each one?
Yeah, his was 3 years with an opt-out after each one, and I think it was average annual value somewhere in like the 35 range, I want to
like
say.
okay.
Yeah,
But,
I think that's what it was.
And yeah, like you said, Joey, yeah, as far as Dansby, he's going to strike out a lot and all that, but knock on wood, it's baseball, 162 games, anything can happen. But so far, Dansby's proven that he's going to be there most of the time. Carlos, like, I can just imagine now after everything that's happened, let's say Chicago, let's say the Cubs were the team that signed him instead of Minnesota. I can only imagine first month of the season he goes down with the injury. What the narrative would be. Oh God, here we go again. We're stuck with this guy for 6 years, paying him 30+ million, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can only imagine. So, I don't feel as bad for not getting Correa now.
The cynic in me, kind of what you just said, wanted that to happen because of all the people that were like, if we don't sign one of the top three, then it's a failure. Like, and look, I there was a moment there where I was scared we weren't going to get anybody, but
Yeah, well, I was too.
I said the same thing. I said just get one of them. Like,
and imagine if Correa was the one we got, and then yeah. Oh God, just imagine how sick we'd all be. But not to make this like not to like point this at the Mets, but like, is this sort of like a Mets thing to do?
It's so Mets.
It's so Mets.
This is so Mets.
Oh well,
Makes you feel good about it.
I just want to like say it says two things. It says, one, don't ever doubt Jed Hoyer, because I truly think now playing back the events that happened in free agency, you get Scott Boras going up there saying the Tom drum is beating. I think Boras maybe thought the Cubs were the sucker at the poker table. that were in the spot that they had to spend, and they knew all about this injury. They knew that these physical, they were going to try to pass it by on the Cubs, that, you know, they weren't going to, he was going to pass his physical and whatever. And maybe the Cubs would have overlooked some of those things. And Scott Boras tried to pull Scott Boras things on the Cubs. And Jed said, no, like, I've gotten these reports, or I've got this back information about how healthy he truly is. And this is my number. And if you don't want it, kick rocks. And then when they did kick rocks, two teams went crawling back saying, we can't give you that with what we see on the picture of your ankle here. Like, we just can't do that. So I just don't ever doubt, you know, Jed Hoyer to be the guy that sees through all the bullshit. And B, it just proves all four of us know nothing. Really, right? Like, I mean, we were all sitting here saying, like, man, we need Carlos Correa. But it's funny how things change. It really is.
That's a good point.
Like, when you look back, you peel it back. It's funny that there's so many different, like, scenarios that can happen. There's more that meets the eye than just dollar and cents. You want to play here. There's just way more than that. And two signings this year showed that. No Carlos Correa. Family, he wanted to be close to his wife. He, you know, thought this was a perfect situation for him. There's just always so much more that fits into this than what meets the eye. And it's true. We know nothing. And we'll sit here and we'll laugh about it. And I think that we'll look back at this and go, man, they really did dodge a big bullet with this and got the right guy.
Yeah, well, and here's his contract really quick for everybody that is curious. First off, big shout out to Jeremiah for joining us. He says, well, if it isn't his favorite Cubs podcast, and we certainly appreciate those kind words. But guys, here is Carlos Correa's upcoming contract. So as we know, he is a unrestricted free agent when he is 38 years old, potentially, and you'll understand why I say that. But as things stand right now, at age 28, he'll make $32 million this season. He'll make $32 million next year being 2024. 2025, it'll be $36 million. That's where it peaks. Then it drops to 31.5 in 2026, 35 in 2027, a flat 30 in 2028, and that is the technical end of the contract, unless there's technically an option for 4 additional years after that. And it's 25, 20, 15, and 10 as it goes further along. It is a full no trade clause, though. That is certainly worth keeping Mount. So he is not leaving Minnesota for the next 6 years at minimum. 2029 is a vesting option. It's 25 mil, and it's like crazy shit. It's 575 plate appearances in 2028, top 5 2028 MVP. So like he has to essentially still be an elite player for those vesting options to occur, is what it is. And it's literally it's like every year is over 500 plate appearances, decreasing as he gets older, but still over 500. And then either a Silver Slugger award, an MVP award, a league's championship series MVP, a World Series MVP, like it's top 5 MVP voting. Like it's hardcore. Like they're essentially telling him, look, we will give you big money AAV for 6 years. After that, either you got to still be balling out, or if you're hurt, you're gone. Or you can still keep making money with us. So I think it's intriguing.
To be honest, I think we're going to see a lot more contracts like that in the future.
100%.
Like the Julio or the J-Rod contract of Seattle, even though his, is just based off, he doesn't have any previous injuries and stuff like that. But I think you're going to see a lot more stuff like that.
Well,
didn't the White Sox try something like that with Manny Machado? Where there's a bunch of like incentive-laden like stuff for him to sign, but they try to underpay him. But I mean, this is like they're spending still high AAV, so it's different. But
like I think these contracts are going to become more popular. I think it's an interesting contract, though. I found that via Spotrac on the good old.
It's crazy because Minnesota seems like a tough place to play. Just like,
Yeah.
half the season, it feels like it's 20 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's not the greatest hitter's park. I
No,
don't
it's really
think
not.
either.
No, it's not.
Like for him to, because Correa, for all like the great offense, like thought behind him, he's not the biggest power hitting shortstop or
No,
power
he's
hitter.
really not.
Period. Like he's just not. So, yeah, I mean, he has to be great all throughout as far as
Yeah.
contact and on base and all that goes. So for him to live up to the contract and stay healthy, this dude has not really stayed healthy. Period in his career. I mean, he's stayed kind of somewhat healthy lately, but like.
He had like 2 seasons. He had like 100 and close to like 140 games. Other than that, it's like last year. What last year he missed about 30 games.
It ain't Dansby good, let me tell you.
No,
I would like
no.
to really quickly for I think some people that wanted to at me and never added me last offseason when he was a free agent. I said I didn't want the Cubs giving this guy 10 years. I am on record saying that. I would like to make that quickly noted here. I am on record being like, I am not going to pay a guy who has not played more than like 145 career games in his entire life.
No, I agree with
10
you
years.
last offseason, Ron.
I
was
know,
with you.
but I'm just saying, I feel good about that now because now we hear all this medical stuff coming out about the guy, and it's like my spidey senses were tingling at the right moment. Because to your point, guys, just really quick here, the most games he has played in a single season in his career is 153. That was his second, well, really his first true full season in the major leagues, but second season at the major league level in 2016. Other than that, 99 games, that was for his first year. So we'll,
99 games, that was for his.
Just we'll deal with whatever that is. But you've got 2017 109, 2018 110, 2019 only 75. In the 2020 year, he played all but 2 games, whoop-de-dee, and then 148 and 136 the last 2 years. So better. But again,
He's getting
for
older.
being 28 years old, for being 28 years old, this dude has dealt with a lot of stuff. And I saw one thing. I want to make this quickly noted because I feel like I'm finally getting to use it after seeing it and keeping it in my brain for months. There was a guy on the old app called TikTok that explained, he said, I'm not surprised Correa has this injury, and here's why. And he showed like videos and images of Correa just throwing a baseball or squatting. He literally lives on his insteps. So for those at home that maybe don't understand what we're saying, lean your ankles with the outside of your feet being higher than the inside of your feet and sit on the insteps of your feet and feel the strain it puts on the interior of your knees. It hurts.
Are you trying to say like he's kind of like, what do they call it, like bow-kneed or whatever?
Like almost
Okay.
like bow-legged in a way. Where
He
like
needs the Forrest Gump, like straighten your legs out stuff when he's
Oh, okay.
well, 'cause
Wow.
when he
No,
when
I
he
never
squats,
knew
when
that.
he squats,
Yeah.
he squats on the insteps
I
of
just
his
made that
knees.
up.
No, that was Joey was just being a smart ass. But
That's
they
interesting.
They showed it. No, they really did though. They showed it where like when
Magic
he goes to throw a
legs.
baseball, magic.
My
He's
magic
He
the
should be
legs.
fast as shit. He should be Trey Turner if that's the case. Let's be honest.
He's one of those guys. He's got like Mr. Fantastic legs where he can like woo, just like goop everywhere. But really, like you look at a picture of it, you see it. All of his
That's
weight's on
crazy.
the inside of his legs, and then when he squats, it's the same way. That just puts so much strain on your ankles and your knees that eventually your body is just going to give out because when you do those activities, you're like it's a thing he like literally needs to work on fixing. It's a technique.
It sounds, you know what it sounds a lot similar to, and I hate bringing this guy up because it hurts. You remember Mark Pryor when everybody talked about him in Strasburg, the way they threw?
Yep.
The inverted.
The inverted
Whatever, yeah.
W or whatever. It's just like that. Like everybody talked about that. And like, as you know, me being I guess I was 13 at the time. I didn't, oh no, Mark Pryor, he's going to be fine, blah, 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 whatever. And, now it's like, look at, which he's retired now, but look at Strasburg. It sounds a lot like that.
Yep. Yeah.
Sucks.
So it again, I think going all the way back to Juice's point here is don't distrust Jed. Jed knew something. Jed, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they I don't know how this works, and I could be totally just talking out my ass right now, but maybe they had a way of hey, can we or maybe that's what they just saw. Maybe like they had their like strength and conditioning coaches look at it or something. Hey, does that look weird to you? Like in a picture or in a video or something? And he's like, yeah, that's called fucking your joints up for life. And maybe that's why they were like,
I think that's
Put it
the
like that, Ryan.
medical
Put it like
condition,
that.
actual name too.
fuck up your
Just
joints
fuck up
for
your
life.
joints. Yeah.
But like
Crazy.
maybe, who knows? I thought it was really interesting, but I'm glad that was some good Carlos Correa talk here. Because again, it really has been the biggest saga in baseball this offseason where just contracts keep falling through with this guy. And he wants to be the top paid of the big four, and you know what I mean? So like it really did become kind of its own like living story as the offseason persisted. But it seems like it's finally coming to an end because as you guys, we kind of collectively mentioned, Minnesota had him last year. They know this. They're willing to gamble and take that risk. And hey, you know what? Good for them. Maybe he does stay healthy and tortures the White Sox or something for the next 6 years. I don't know. I'm just guesstimating here, but let's focus on something that does technically take place on the north side of the city this weekend, and that is Cubs convention, boys. We're back. Well, I shouldn't even say we're back. We're going because I've never been. I don't think any of us have ever been. We've discussed this. It's not only our individual first years going, it's Cubs on Tap's first year going as a collective unit, which is going to be banana lands. If you run into us this weekend, you will understand why we say it's going to be banana lands.
Guys, this will be the first time I'll meet y'all in person too.
It is.
Oh, true.
So that's the legit excitement of this. So like it's the first time that Cubs on Tap has truly run in full force out in the public world and not just here on StreamYard behind a microphone. So man, it's gonna be dope. We're excited. We've been talking for weeks now of content ideas. I've ordered more tech from Amazon in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 2 years. We are rolling. Yeah, see, Juice has got goodies now. I've got a GoPro and a bunch of other tech crap over there for everything. Like we are ready to rumble. It's gonna be crazy this weekend. We're super duper stoked. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But guys, what are we thinking?
And that's the flip, man. Like I'm excited to do it because I want to sit like on our GoPros and the guys who couldn't go to CubsCon, like just know Cubs on Tap is going to bring you something that you could see that's inside the ropes. Like we're going to do our best to, get some fan interaction, get some things that will cut up some type of video or put this content out there for you. Just make sure you're following the Cubs on Tap stuff because all weekend it's just going to be cheers into old Cubs, cheers into new Cubs, future Cubs. There'll be a lot of great people we meet, and we're going to be front and center for all of the meet and greets, press conferences. We're going to do our best to get as close as we can for the red carpet event that I know that they're going to be broadcasting on Marquee Sports. So yeah, definitely look out for and Tyler. I just cue it in, man. Cue in what you got there. You got some goodies.
Oh, show him! Show him!
If you see us, can I? Am I allowed to?
Yes,
of course.
Okay.
The
Guys,
floor is yours, my friend.
If you see us walking around, we're going to be passing out something.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, they're beautiful.
So
give us a shout. Just holler at us. Say Cubs on Tap. Something. We've got several. We're going to pass out. We're going to be wearing them. Just come up and talk to us about the Cubs. Give us your thoughts about the season. Whatever. Just talk to us, and we'll hook you up with a shirt as long as we still have them. But yeah, like you guys said, man, I cannot freaking wait. This is going to be fun. So fun. I'm ready. Just all the different events they got.
Oh, what an awful time for
no.
Tyler to freeze. Oh no.
No, that was good. He was on a roll there. I love it.
What's going on with internet today? Like even me.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I blame my Ethernet cable for some reason. I'm just gonna do that. I think it's my Ethernet cable.
Oh, he's
that's
back.
screwing up everybody's.
Oh, good.
He's back.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
He's back.
Who
Tyler,
knows?
we got things.
Who knows? What's that?
Oh my god! If this isn't a preface to what the amount of a gong show this weekend is going to be in the best humanly way
Yeah.
possible. It's if we're a mess on microphones and over a laptop, just wait till all four of us are in person with one another. I mean, a lot of people have seen what happened when Juice Joey and I got together for opening day. Joey was telling people to crack them, lock them, and fuck them. So, like,
That's what I forgot about.
it was
Crack 'em,
insanity.
lock 'em, fuck 'em.
It's gonna be just as stupid. It is gonna be just as stupid. This
Dude, the
weekend.
pregame. This is just the pregame. This is gonna be. This is honestly. I've been looking forward to this since I knew I was going, and I am just jacked up to be there. Like I said, even if I can't make it there with my vehicle, I will find somebody on the side of the road.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe. We're gonna start a GoFundMe for your Uber.
We will make
'cause imagine what
room.
it cost
We
me from,
will
like,
we
frickin'
will
Rockford.
we will make room on the red carpet. You will get on that red carpet if you make it there because your car broke down. We will make it a big deal.
Yeah, because when Ian Happ's
Do it.
getting called, that's when I'm gonna get. So I'm just showing. I'm gonna ruin it.
Joey's gonna come flying out from behind the curtains.
Yeah.
Like, whoa!
Compound
shit,
guy.
what happened? Oh, my
He's the Mr. Guest on the compound.
Yeah. Oh, wait, was it Nico? No, it's Joe Rico.
It's Joey.
Who's Joey Riccona?
Oh,
Who is this guy? And then literally you just tell your story, and everybody's like, "Holy shit! Maybe he was really the guest." Like
We'll be
this
like
dude,
we'll be
hitchhiked
we'll,
here.
we'll be planted all around the area. Just it's Joey. Yeah, guys, it's Joey. It's Joey. All three of us. Just
wait,
planted
what
through.
prospect is that? What prospect? Dude, he's got a beer gut for being a prospect. Yeah, yeah. Him. He looks like
Throws
Shane.
real hard though.
Yeah. All 50 miles per hour. Put him on there.
Oh my god!
Oh,
All right, this
man.
is a turn.
I hope
So
we're- I
far
hope-
left.
I just hope like it'd be cool. Like we're just grabbing a beer somewhere and see Rick Sutcliffe or something, and just whatever,
might-
shoot the shit with him. That'd be awesome.
Might happen. It might
He was
happen.
Well, Tyler, you know he'd be at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we could maybe if we run into him, we could just be like, "Hey, can we get you just to do like a little video? Just Cubs on tap, crack him." What's the other thing? Something.
Lock
Fuck
him and
Crack
fuck
him.
him.
Fuck
Suck
him.
him.
Fuck him. This is Rick Sutcliffe.
Crack him, lock him, shut him,
Boom.
shut him. Dude, imagine
Oh,
if we
my God.
shotgun beers with Rick Sutcliffe.
Dude, that
Oh,
would
my
be awesome.
Imagine.
I would love that. so
See, these
much.
are. We should make like a to-do list. Like on there should be like
Like a scavenger hunt.
shotgun beers with Rick Sutcliffe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a
Right.
bingo card
Rub,
almost.
rub bald heads with David Ross. Just
There's C, and the list grows.
Oh my god!
Who else is bald? I'm trying to think on the team. You got like rub heads, bald heads with like every bald guy on the team. If there are more
probably I don't know.
coaches, is Napoli? He's got the big beard.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he
I'm
bald?
pretty sure he's bald. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's on the list. That's on the list.
Oh, this weekend's gonna be absolutely off the rails. It's gonna be something, man. Guys, on the topic of the Cubs convention, do you guys have something that like you're most looking forward to about it? Obviously, we'll leave our own like it's Cubs on tap gonna be together aspect of it like for a little bit yet. But like what's like one of the events that's happening, or what's one of the panels, like something like that, like what of that nature are you most excited about for Cubs convention?
There's three things. Oh, go ahead, Joey.
No, I mean everybody kind of paused at once. Maybe we were all thinking of like because I think there's a lot, right? Like
My favorite game on Cubs on Tap is when we have all four of us and play
Yeah.
the Who's Gonna Talk First game when I just leave it open.
well, that's why sometimes beforehand, Ron. Sometimes beforehand,
Usually it's Joey.
Yeah, we try. I try to like keep it somewhat together, or I just wait super fucking long. It's one or the other. Like beforehand, sometimes I'm like, Ron, what's the order this week? Like, or what's like, who's going for? Anyways, all right, whatever, doesn't matter.
Otherwise, it's bedlam.
Yeah, because it's mayhem, and we sit here and crack them. We're not even talking.
Suck them.
What was I gonna say though? Rick
Favorite
Sutton.
thing.
Rick Sutton. So yeah, favorite thing. I'm looking forward to the compound, man. The compound con. Like I'm really looking forward to the live episode of Ian Happ's podcast where I mean, I don't know. I was joking about it earlier of like barging in at the time of like I really want to watch that. But everything, dude, everything. I want to hear from Cubs leadership. This will be first time, right, for everybody. So I don't know. Like whatever. I'm open to it all. I just want to crack some beers, hang out with you guys. Like there's not one thing really in particular more than the others. Maybe the Compound podcast live show.
I like it. I like it.
I think.
Juice.
I think the. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Juice.
No, Tyler, take it. I'm good.
I think the red carpet would be pretty cool. I just that, and then the whole like the sit down with Jed Hoyer, and then the Ricketts and stuff like that. Like, you know, all these years, you read about everything, you see videos and stuff like that. And like we're actually going to be there. Like I know it's a convention they've had every year, but you know, like you said, it's our first time, and I feel like it's going to be pretty cool. Like you're going to be there on set with those guys talking, you know, asking the questions, and maybe who knows, maybe one of us get to go up and ask a question. I don't know. That would be cool.
Yeah, 100%. Juice.
I got like 3 things I'm excited for. One, selfishly, I'm excited for Cubs Bingo because I heard the prizes for Cubs Bingo in the past have been insanely epic, like memorabilia, tickets, things like that. Like I'm definitely playing Cubs Bingo if I get a chance to do that. 2, it probably 1. Like I'm excited to just see people. You know what I mean? Just be out, see a bunch of Cub fans, talk about, you know, potential moves, get more perspective, you know, maybe draw some more people into listening to this show. And then finally, because I'm a business nerd, is listening to like the future of the business with obviously Crane Kenny's going to be up there, Tom Ricketts, you know, those guys are all going to be kind of talking about what the future is for, you know, the Cubs, the stadium, you know, the future for the franchise in general, just to see like, you know, what they've done over the course of 2 years, because there hasn't been this convention, you know, for the 2 or 3 years, however long it's been since they've had it. But there's been a lot of time for them to evaluate their business and see what fans like and love and want to add to Wrigley Field. So that's kind of where I'm at. I just kind of want to see where the business side of it kind of lies and what fan experiences maybe we can get in the future.
Yeah, 100%. No, I'm right there with all you. I think those are going to be super cool. I agree, Juice. I'm also a business nerd at heart. So I know that's going to get me excited. Definitely the interaction portion of it, right? Like I live on the South Side. So like for me, most of my friends are White Sox fans. So like it's going to be really weird because like it's one thing to go to a Cubs game and like talk with the people around you, because yeah, they might love the Cubs and they might know a little bit about like players and stuff, but like they're just that fan that just loves the Cubs, right? Like we're gonna be talking to a bunch of baseball nerds. That's what I'm excited about. Like like again, it's not a bad thing, but like outside of our group here, like you guys are the ones I chop everything up with from like a super nerdy standpoint the most often. A couple other guys and a couple of them you guys have met actually that have attended opening day with us. Like, but that's it. Like, it's a very, very tiny group. So it's going to be crazy with, you know, hundreds of people there that are ready at any glance of a moment to be like, let's talk about what Christopher Morel is going to do with third base this year. And it's like, well, okay, let's do it. You know, I think that'll be very cool as well. And selfishly, I'm not going to lie. I'm very, very, very excited for Harry Karaoke. Because I need to see every single one of you 3 up there. And I'm going to sing Buy You a Drink, as it says in my little description here. That I've already picked my song. If I get to pick, oh yeah, we're going to bust out the T-Pain. It's going to be fantastic. Prez is already, Tony Marchese has already said he needs Ron Luce, Cubs on Tap, Harry Karaoke footage. And he's going to get all 4 of us. It's going to be great. So that's what I'm most excited for.
Jeez, man.
But guys, now let's get into some of the fun. That was, you know, I think it's a perfect way. 10 minutes.
That wasn't fun. That wasn't fun. Rob?
Oh, there's more fun, Joey. What's up, Tyler?
Hey, I know it's not like it's kind of Cubs con, but not really. But isn't? Am I frozen?
Or is that my end?
No, it's Joey.
That's my end.
Yeah, Tyler, I can hear him.
Is it Sunday? Isn't Ian Happ doing something Sunday like after CubsCon?
Yeah, he's
The
gonna be
brunch,
up
right?
at Hotel Zachary for like a Connect Roasters brunch.
Gotcha.
And he's gonna be dishing out coffee. I mean, I don't know. Oh, this is a great
I
question.
saw you share that.
Yeah. So, okay, a couple quick questions before we get into, because I want to hear from all of us what the personal Cubs on Tap, us hanging out, you're most excited about stuff too. But a couple of quick questions. Jeremiah says, who's all going to be on the panel? I think he's talking about the Cubs convention panel. So there's like a compound pod panel. There's a Ricketts family panel. There, front office, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the panels in regards to that question. Imagine how many people want to be Christopher Morel. I'm sure a lot. I went to when he signed at Avia shirts over the summer, and it was a line. Like there was a good amount of people out there to see Mr. Morel.
That could be another thing to add on our list. Get a hug from Christopher Morel.
It's true. I didn't get a hug from him the first time, so that's fair. That's totally fair. This might be okay. One more fun question: who's taller? I think confidently, not by much, but I think confidently I'm the tallest of the three of us. I don't know about Tyler though, because I don't know how tall you are. Tyler,
I'm like 5'10".
Okay, maybe. So you and I are we're all about the same height. I mean, we're not that terribly far off. And we'll take a picture, and then everybody can make that assessment themselves. But this question from Scott, this is going to be a good way, I think, kind of to tie into what we're most excited about as hanging with each other, because he wants to know which Cubs on Tap personality will be the first to tap out.
Me.
And Scott said his bet was on Joey. And Scott, I've got a story for you, my friend. I'm going to keep it a little PG. But opening day weekend, so Juice ended up going home with his lady after the game because you actually had to dip out of town the next day. Had a lot of shit going on. But Joey stayed with two of my buddies and myself because we got an Airbnb kind of down near Wrigley because all of us were Southsiders. Joey, you're out in the boonies of Rockford. So, we all stayed in this Airbnb together. Well, one of my buddies had to go home because he tore his ACL, actually celebrating Ian Happ's game-winning double because he had already injured his knee, and he jumped and it popped on his way down. So that was one crazy story of opening day. And then, so my one buddy, I'll name him, my buddy Kyle, he's a Cubs on Tap listener as well. This is my buddy Joe, who was also with us. But Kyle, myself, and Joey went out, and I'm talking late. We regrouped at the apartment after the game. Got a little something to eat, and then we were back out onto the streets of Chicago, getting after it on the hashtag Crackham movement. And we were sitting at this bar, and Joey was so exhausted that he started falling asleep on the bar. And everybody's looking at us like, is he okay? We're like, it's been a long day. We've been out since 8 a.m. It's been a long one. And you had to drive. You drove in that morning too. So you were up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And had expressed you didn't sleep the night before, and my buddy Kyle and I just did not give a rat's ass because we were like, we're going out. Then we walked Joey back to the hotel. He got some rest, and then my buddy Kyle and I went back out for a little bit, a bunch.
I forgot you guys went back out, and then
we went back out.
Did you come back and get me, and then we went out again, or no? Was that? Did I imagine that?
I think you imagined that.
Okay,
I'm not sure though. Maybe. I don't know. That was a weekend. It's gonna be. It was fun. Dude, where's my car, Joey? That's actually funny because we had that scare too.
Oh, I thought I got towed away because I left it.
Thought he got towed. Oh God, that's really funny. Yeah,
let's not make it as crazy this weekend. Let's have fun in the convention. I don't want the car to potentially get towed, the car to potentially break down. The guy to
everybody say a prayer for Joey's car.
Yes. Just a short one.
Whether you want it to break down or not, just say a prayer, because if it does break down, then maybe your prayer's answered and you get the content that we all wanted.
I think Tyler's saying a prayer for Joey to have to hit.
I'm not saying that.
He doesn't
I'm
want me
not saying
staying
that.
in the same room as him. That's what it
I'm
is,
not.
right, Tyler?
No, man. I've got it all. We're good. We're good.
See, okay, so that's another fun thing worth mentioning. So all four of us are not at the same hotel. We're at two separate hotels. Juice and I are bunk mates, and then Tyler and Joey are bunk mates. So there's going to be separate
with a-
silly shit that occurs in just that setting, let alone when all four of us are together.
with a river in between us, mind you.
one room or the other.
That's actually
Hope maybe not, but like one room or the other, maybe you like knocking on the door at like 1 a.m. Like, yeah, we got kicked out of our room. Could we stay together?
We
I
just crash on
guarantee
your
you-
floor.
I guarantee you there's going to be one night where we don't even make it to the other room. Like we're just going to pass out on like the
Everybody
floor
goes to
or
one
something.
and just probably.
And actually, now that you mention that, Juice, that scares the living crap out of me that there's a river in between. Because what?
We don't have to cross the river. Don't worry.
No. We don't have to. But like, what?
You're right.
We think like one of us gets the bright idea. Like,
my
let me
God.
swim across. Yeah, Juice. Like Juice is yelling from
swim
the
over.
other side of the river or something. And, like, I don't know.
Oh my god, it's gonna be.
But in terms of being the tap out guy, like fully expect me to go old man. I think I'm the oldest out of everybody here, right? Tyler, how old are you?
I'll be 33 in July.
Oh yeah, you're my age. Yeah.
Nice.
So
I'll be
okay.
33 in November. So
You're older than me, actually. There you go.
I'm the
Hey.
baby. I'm 100% the baby of the group. I turned 28 in March, so I'm the baby.
Yeah,
of the
you
group.
you better be like singing at karaoke.
I'll be the last-
7 times.
I'll be the last one
Stage
standing.
diving
I think
and
that
all that.
now I think that that nominated me for the one that'll be the last one to tap out.
yeah.
As
Yep.
a result,
No,
which
like I'm flying in like Thursday afternoon, and I've been looking pretty hard at the Predator or at the Blackhawks
you
tickets.
should.
I
You
think
should.
I'm going to do it Thursday night. I might
They
do
play
it.
the Abs. You totally should. Hell yeah.
But I'm like you said, I think I'm gonna wait till like the day of and just get them on that app, and
Yeah.
no free
come on.
ads, but I'm gonna get them on that one app. And
Oh, it's not a free ad because we have a friendship here with our friends. At
oh
Game
well,
Time.
then I'm gonna get it
yeah,
on the game
game
time
time,
app.
baby.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
do it.
game time. So, and anybody that is curious, we'll get that out to people if they're looking for
But
using
seriously,
our
guys, everybody that's listening, if you see us, we'll have shirts on. Stop and talk to us, please. Like shoot the shit with us. Talk Cubs baseball with us. Anything, man. We would love to talk to you.
Damn right.
100%, 100%. Man.
Yell at us across the river.
Yeah, holler at us.
Hey,
Shooting arrows at each other across.
messenger.
Get
You got a
get
messenger pigeon
megaphone.
flying across the river,
Oh, dude, like the Harry Potter. What are they?
or a walkie talkie.
And I'm pretty sure
Those
little
birds.
birdie did a little birdie say that some of the Dingers guys will be there too.
a birdie.
Maybe.
A birdie of a birdie of a birdie of a birdie told us that. We don't have an
Oh.
official confirmation just
Well,
yet. but
hopefully some of them make it. If not all of them, that would be awesome.
that would be awesome. That would be super sweet. And because our friends over at Dingers, we're excited. We've been talking with them about a AAA Iowa tailgate weekend
That
out in
needs to
Des
happen.
Moines at some point. So yeah, there's a lot of fun shit coming with Cubs on Tap this year, and it all starts this weekend with Cubs Convention. Guys, we are slowly approaching the hour mark here. I want to ask each one of you final thoughts, whether it's a Cubs Convention thought, whether it's a Cubs baseball thought, whatever you have, final thoughts before we start to close this thing down and then look ahead to an awesome weekend.
Let's have a hell of a weekend, boys. Sorry, I ended up going first because we were paused for too long again. Crack them, lock them, fuck them. Let's go.
No, it's not kind of a little more serious note. I know we're all Cubs fans and we all have friends that are White Sox fans and all that, kind of a baseball world thing. Thoughts and prayers with Liam Hendricks. He, with his devastating news with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which if you know anybody, it's serious. But if you've ever watched the guy, that dude is a fighter, and he's gonna kick its ass. And but yeah, just thoughts and prayers with him and his family.
Well said. Juice.
Yeah, don't know how to follow that. I definitely echo that sentiment, but just to bring it to a little lighter side, Tuesday, April 11th, the South Bend Cubs will be raising a banner out this way. You'll find me doing some live content out here for that. And this CubsCon is like the first event we're doing live. We are now working on an Iowa tailgate that will go to watch the Iowa Cubs. And I will definitely be having all three of these guys at my place for hopefully a weekend to do some South Bend Cubs content to get them in here, and we'll watch some prospects. We'll see what the roster makeup is, and we'll salivate over those guys while we watch some Cubs baseball from the Major League team from afar and watch the baby Cubs at Fort Wayne Field. But yeah, that schedule came out. Excited for April 11th. I will be there at the banner raising, and it'd be cool to cheers that 2022 team one more time.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's again, it's going to be a summer full of chaos. SBS, which is South Bend Shenanigans. It's going to be super fun. I know we've even discussed internally an idea of maybe trying to meet up in Knoxville as well, if all things align. So it could be a Cubs summer, let me tell you. But again, boys, it starts this weekend. I'm so excited.
Cubs on tap summer, Ron.
It's a Cubs on tap summer. I like it. But guys, I'm so pumped for this weekend. It's going to be an absolute blast. Again, it's the first time we're going to get to hang out with Tyler in person. This is
I can't wait.
Another opportunity to hang out with Juice and Joey as well. I'm excited, man. We're going to be working hard, but we're going to be partying harder. And that's just how we do things here at Cubs on Tap. So very much looking forward to all the content that comes out of the weekend, all the connections that come out of the weekend, really, and all just the knowledge, the things we learn about guys, the various things that are going on within the Cubs organization as a whole, that really get us excited and looking forward to what's ahead. That will be opening day. And again, all four of us are already thinking about that and looking into being together once again in the beautiful bleachers of Wrigley Field when the Cubs and Brewers do battle on MLB opening day at the end of March. So all going to be dope. It all starts this weekend though, and I am just my brain is on CubsCon mode. Just has been since like I went to bed on Sunday night. I was like, all right, we wake up tomorrow and every set of planning I have in my brain for the next 4 days is CubsCon related. Joe, please don't get that. Okay. Yeah,
Sorry, I was laughing at that, so I had to put it up there.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to see myself that close either. Go ahead, Ron.
That was really funny though, so I'm glad somebody said that to you as well. Gentlemen, you know the drill. Cubs on Tap is the official, or one of two official Cubs podcasts now of the On Tap Sports Network. Be sure to check out our friends over at Dinger Cubs on Twitter, the Dinger Cubs podcast. Those boys are with us now on the On Tap Sportsnet Network. So be sure to check them out, and be also sure to look out for all the crazy chaos that we do with them this season. While we still operate as our own thing over here at Cubs on Tap. You can find us on the social media platforms. We're at Cubbies on Tap on Twitter and Instagram. Those will be very active over the weekend, so be sure to be following us there. I am at Loose on Tap on the Bluebird app, at Joey Knows Nothing, at Juice on Tap, at Teddy Freddy 270. Be sure to be following all four of us as well. Again, follow our boys over at Dinger Cubs, at Dinger Cubs, at Baseball Bouge, and all of those guys. I still haven't memorized everybody's Twitter handle at Dingers yet, so I am working on that. But be also sure to follow along with all of our other good stuff. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks. You know the drill. We got it all in all three. Bears just finished their season and have a crazy off season ahead. The Bulls and Blackhawks are in the heart of their seasons. The Hawks are bad. The Bulls are interesting, but nonetheless entertaining, especially with all of our guys here at On Tap covering them as well. And yes, again, Cubs fans, you know the drill. And even as Tyler alluded, especially when one of theirs is going through a hard time, as Liam Hendricks is, be sure to follow our boys over at Sox on Tap. They do a good job covering the Southsiders. And tell all your friends that are Sox fans to go follow along with them as well, because they do a lot of cool stuff at the ballpark throughout the season as well. And once again, OnTapSportsNet.com, at OnTapSportsNet on social media. Be sure to check us out. the On Tap Sports Network. Go ahead and check out what's on tap in Chicago sports. Gentlemen, I'm happy I got a voice back, but I'm more happy that I was on the mic with all three of you this evening. The next time we talk anything Cubs baseball here at Cubs on Tap, it is from CubsCon on Friday. I'm excited, guys. And what do you say? We shut this thing down the only way we know how here at Cubs on Tap.
Guys, it's been a while since we. Damn, I forgot how to. Me. Fuck the Cardinals.
FTC, baby. FTC.
Crack 'em.
And let's go, Cubbies.